Hey, how's it going, guys? ZedEye here. So I kind of missed on this, news, more or less of a rumor, but this is extremely reliable, and also it is very probable that it's actually maybe the real deal. This is coming from specifically with the collaboration of Jason Schreier and Tom Henderson. And if you guys already know by Jason Schreier, usually he leaks and talks about legitimate things that will be coming down the pipeline. So that's fantastic news, means that, indeed Grand Theft Auto 6, and yes, I'm going to be talking about that, it is going to be coming. But the issue is that a lot of people were expecting it coming a little earlier than, than what Jason Schreier is indicating it. So basically, it's expected to be releasing around 2024 or perhaps 2025. Knowing, of course, Rockstar, I would bet on 2025, not 2024. Again, they tend to delay their things. Yes, I do understand a lot of this has been conversations regarding why Rockstar and Take-Two are actually making this decision of actually not talking anything regarding about the Grand Theft Auto. Again, time and time we've seen a game like Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, including Red Dead Redemption 2. The game has been announced 2 years prior to its release. So Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, but it was first announced in 2016. Same thing with the Grand Theft Auto 4 as well. And so again, similar thing once again for the Grand Theft Auto 5. So as such, like, we would be expecting to see or hear, perhaps, maybe, it is a possibility, of course, maybe the earliest would be, and if I'm correct about being the year of 2025, I'll say, again, possibility of 2023. So this means there still is 2 more years to go until we hear anything about this game. A lot of other people were even expecting to see the game as early as 2023 and not expecting to hear just the announcement of actual Grand Theft Auto 6 in 2023, an announcement, but not the release. And again, I never expected this game coming out in 2023. Perhaps maybe if I would have been very optimistic and hopeful, then yeah. But again, the main reason to this is actually because Rockstar has made some changes with the developers. Not them, not changing them, but changes in terms of actually health and making sure that everybody was happy. So of course this means that they want to take their time and actually be ready when they want to release their game. So they want to give us a concrete information, concrete release date as well. So they don't have to announce it way too early and then completely delay it again, once again and again. And so if that's the case, then obviously they're gonna have to put under the crunch of these developers, and obviously it's gonna be a very bad atmosphere. And again, like people like, I said, Jason Schreier, they will be reporting about this situation. Rockstar is gonna get the bad press as pretty normal, nothing really new about this situation. But at the moment, as what we have been hearing, it sounds like that the developers from Rockstar that are making Grand Theft Auto 6 are in a far better state than it was before, such as like the Red Dead Redemption 2. That time it was really, really bad. Okay, so there has been extra information what to expect out of this Grand Theft Auto 6. There's talks about the multiple protagonists making return, and this time actually instead of having, like as an example, 3 protagonists, again I don't know how many there will be, 2, 3, 10, whatever. There has been rumors talking about there will be at least 1 woman that we will be able to play as her. So if that's the case, I really don't mind. I'm sure a lot of people say like, well, I don't want to play as a woman, I don't want to be as a female character. Again, I understand a lot of people feel like that, whatever, and personally for me, I really don't mind. This is actually going to be new implementation for Grand Theft Auto game, having a female character, playable character mind you, but still it's not as if you're going to be fixed to that character only and always, right? There's again, multiple protagonists, so obviously the rest are going to be male. Or whatever, right? Maybe there'll be a robot between there as well. I don't know. Okay, now the other thing. It is going to be an evolving map. It is going to be based in Vice City as well. It's actually quite funny, right? First time when talked about, there was also like Liberty City, and then there was LA, and after we go to Vice City, and now we're actually kind of making return, we're making the cycle. We got a Liberty City remake basically, right, of Grand Theft Auto 4, the Grand Theft Auto 5 was, well, obviously LA, and now we're pretty much going back to Vice City with the Grand Theft Auto 6. That's pretty cool. They have touched on regarding as well with the success of the Grand Theft Auto 5 online. This is also one of the reasons why they were taking their sweet time, and because of the funds that Grand Theft Auto Online constantly keeps on getting, they don't actually have to rush on making and pushing the developers of making Grand Theft Auto 6. And so that's excellent news to hear. Now, it's also kind of a concern because we have to understand one thing. There still are constant updates towards the Grand Theft Auto Online and also the constant updates towards the Red Dead Online. So what does that mean? How are they going to be distributing and dividing the studio and the developers? Like at some point, maybe now even as we're talking, full development has already begun for the Grand Theft Auto 6, and there's obviously going to be far more developers working on that game, right? And so is the skeleton crew going to be left in charge of updating Grand Theft Auto Online? So goes for the Red Dead Redemption Online. And if that's the case, I mean, like, more power to that. Of course, I would like my Grand Theft Auto 6 being a far better state than, comparing that to, well, online version, right? Grand Theft Auto 5, and I'm talking about specifically the single player, right? Grand Theft Auto 5 single player and Grand Theft Auto 6 single player, I do expect them to be phenomenal. Even on day one, that are going to be fully playable, no issues whatsoever, very little bugs, and knowing Rockstar, they tend to polish their game the living shit out of it. Seriously, like, it's phenomenal with the quality in polished state. Grand Theft Auto Online, though, well, that's a different story. If you guys remember it, at least I remember it like the back of my hand. Seriously, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, when that first time came out, actually be available to be played, I think it was the 1st of October 2013, if I'm correct. I believe that was the year and also the date. So yeah, nobody was capable of actually even going online. And then after a month, it was actually far more stable. We actually had an opportunity of actually joining people and playing together, even though it was very bare bones. I remember this very well, and I used to always race around the prison area. I can't remember the name, unfortunately. There was none of this making of the maps, like Rockstar creation editing tools and stuff like that. There was death matches, but it was far more interesting, at least to me, racing around one of the prison areas, because it was quite it was the best way to gain XP, and we were striving to get to level 100 as quickly as possible. Man, those were the days. Those were good days. I remember I used to have a good time playing with my friend. Jesus, so many people were all over this game. It was insane. And because of this, now we're in 2021. Grand Theft Auto Online was available since, well, the end of 2013, getting a re-release for the Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PlayStation 4. Then a year after that, it was re-released for the PC version as well. Man, it's been a very, very long time. What is it, like 8 years at this point? It just makes it kind of interesting to see what the Grand Theft Auto 6 will have for us and it will entail. Now we know about the Grand Theft Auto 5, the next gen, that's going to be coming, couple months. Holy crap, November the 11th, I believe that was the date. Man, oh man, I'm definitely going to be interested in checking it out. What are the enhanced and expanded version of that? Hopefully it will be 60 FPS. That's the most necessary part about it. And as well, please DLC or expansion towards the single player, because I'm sick of the online. But that's just my opinion. And man, it's going to be interesting to see this. It's been stated that it's going to be set in modern day. It's not like Vice City, as you guys may remember it. Grand Theft Auto that was set in 1980, I believe so. Man, those were some good tunes to listen through. If you guys were not aware, my very first Grand Theft Auto game was Vice City. Yeah, I think it was Vice City. I remember some of the days when I actually was playing Grand Theft Auto 3 and Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and we were making decisions with my friends and I, like, what should we play first, this or this? Like, no other game but just Vice City or Grand Theft Auto 3. We were just deciding between us. It was funny. It was a great time, like great old times. Actually, when Rockstar released constantly plenty of games and in a consistent base. Now it's a different story. Alright guys, I feel like I reminisced a little bit too much about this, brought you a little bit of information and news regarding Grand Theft Auto 6, a little bit extra, you know, I've touched on Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 4, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 3, man, those were good days. You know, it's actually quite sad, you know, you're just reminiscing about these old memories, and yet it's never going to be the same as it was back then, and comparing that to now. Alright, looks like I ended it on a kind of a sad note, but yeah. Hopefully you have enjoyed, guys. Like and subscribe. See you guys all later.